Hey, is this me? I can't tell.
What's up? Machine Head with Bloodstone and Diamonds, their new album. We're here to review it. We're always here to review things. Yeah, it's their first album not on Roadrunner Records. It's through Nuclear Blast Records, produced by Andy Sneap. Andy Sneap is a very good producer. He's done a lot of stuff, Megadeth and stuff that comes to mind with me. Carcass. So yeah, and this follow up to Unto the Locust from 2011. So it's been 3 years since Machine Head's put out a record, and yeah. What do you think, Queef?
This is the third Machine Head album that I've listened to, and this band has still very much got it. It's actually weird because a guy we know had recently said at one of the shows, like, "Oh, what has Machine Head done lately?" And then I was like, "Well, have you heard The Blackening? Have you heard Into the Locust?" And then I'd say, "Have you heard this album?" This album is, in a way, a continuation of what they've done so far. It's still very Machine Head. There's all kinds of harmonics. There's probably harmonics in every song. But then it seems like it's also an extension forward of what they're doing. A good example of that is the song, which one? Sail Into the Black. The song's very different in terms of Machine Head. I'm not sure how to describe it. You almost feel like you're sailing on a ship. And there's other things. I feel like one of the things that I personally feel like I noticed, and maybe I just didn't notice it before, but it sounds like Rob Flynn's vocals, like when he's screaming or it's a little bit more gruff, it sounds like he's a little bit, maybe he sounds better is what I'm going to get at, but he sounds like he's getting better at hitting pitches while still having the intensity and the harshness to his voice. All around, this was a good album. Some of my personal favorites were Now We Die and Killers and Kings, which they released Killers and Kings early, didn't they? Yeah, that was the first one they released, if I'm not mistaken. And then I really liked the last track, Take Me to the Fire, and then which one was it? The Imaginal Cells, the instrumental, is also really cool with the voiceovers playing in the background. But this was just a really good album. What song was that where it got really gross and grody toward the end of it?
Fuck.
Because that's one part that sticks with me.
Eyes of the Dead, I think.
I believe it's Eyes of the Dead.
Yeah, I think so.
It was like somewhere in the middle. It was in the middle of the album, I know, but it was just like it's everything you would come to expect from a Machine Head album. It's fast. It gets harsh. It gets melodic. And it gets epic at times. It's a great album. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to this. It was, I liked it. So, and that's really all I'm going to say on that. So,
this album to me is one of the strongest albums of the year, for sure. Machine Head recently have just been magic. I feel like a lot of their songs are just they're original. They got everything in them, in my opinion. They have really good melodies. They have, very heavy, slow, chunky riffs. They have thrashy riffs. They have more technical riffs. They have a really solid guitar sound. They have ripping guitar solos. They have scream vocals. They have, vocals all up in your face. They have singy song parts. They have fucking good drumming. They have everything, in my opinion. And recently, the past 3 albums, I would say, since Through the Ashes of the Empires, they've just been expanding and expanding and expanding their sound and getting, better and better at what they do. And this album is no different. I think you can take, there's a lot of songs on here where I feel they're just trying to do different things. Now We Die with, kind of some orchestration going on in the chorus and stuff is really cool. And yeah, I mean, a lot of bands have done that before. It's not the most, mind-blowing thing in the world, but it's the added touch of, that type of stuff that can really take a song from good to great. And I feel that's something that happens with Now We Die. That verse fucking riff is amazing. Even the one before that is just so fucking sweet. That's probably one of my favorite songs off of this album. Killers and Kings is more straight up, more old school metal, just thrashy and fucking fast and aggressive, and it's cool. What's this fucking song? Ghost Will Haunt My Bones. It's probably my favorite song on here because I love when Machine Head makes these choruses that are just extremely melodic, and that's what's going on in that song. I look at Halo or something like that, very very melodic type chorus, and that's what's going on here. And when the main riff busts in that song, it's just like yes, and you're just headbanging. That's the thing about this album. There's so many fantastic riffs on here. I mean, and they're Machine Head style riffs in my opinion. They like to do the kind of power chords that are fucking forget what they're actually called, but they're the octaves and all that goodness. And those types of chords are all over the place on here. They have your slow it the fuck down, jump in the pit and just throw down type of parts, such as something that's along the lines of like the end of Unto the Locust or something. The drum beats kind of cut in half and you're just fucking stomping around and you're headbanging, and yeah, that's what we were talking about, with Eyes of the Dead. It's just the ending is so gross to that song. I really enjoyed the track Sail Into the Black because I did really enjoy the experimentation. I loved how that song built up and just got progressively more epic as it went along. It was really cool. Beneath the Silt. Yeah. Beneath the Silt was interesting because I feel like they were experimenting with a little bit different tunings. The tunings were a lot lower on that, fucking rad, man. Overall, that song was okay, but, it was cool that they're just trying out different things. Game Over was interesting as well because of the, for a good chunk of the beginning of that song, it's just Rob Flynn and a very, very simple guitar riff. And, then the chorus is very sing-alongy, upbeat, and, something you'd hear on the fucking radio, I felt. But it was cool. Overall, I just feel this is a very strong Machine Head album. I mean, the fucking guitar harmonies that I love about Machine Head are here, such as stuff that's found in Unto the Locust or Halo or something. You take Now We Die, the middle section with the tapping and it's harmonized. That is the type of stuff that makes Machine Head fantastic to me. And I'm sure if you heard that live, it would just be the most fucking mind-blowing thing. It just sounds so cool. Ghost Will Haunt My Bones has another really good guitar harmony. And to me, Machine Head mixes melody and beautifulness with just flat-out, sheer, pissed-off aggression. And the lyrics are interesting on this album. Most of the time it's Rob Flynn. There's lots of F-bombs all over the place. And like Keith was saying, he does sound better, and he's good at hitting different pitches. It's really, he has grown every single album that this band has done. But I feel one thing that's really good about his vocals on this album is his control.
Yeah.
Like his control over going from this pitch to this, and kind of talking grunty through his teeth or something like that. His control is really, really solid on this album.
What was the song that had like the gang vocals in the background? Because that at least me personally. Now maybe that's because maybe I haven't heard listened to as much Machine Head as probably you have. But I don't think I've ever heard anything
Killers
like
and
that
Kings,
before.
I think it was. Yeah, I can't recall a song that has gang vocals in it from Machine Head.
So that was like another
if
interesting thing. I mean,
yeah, I mean, if they do have one, definitely let me know. I've listened to Burn My Eyes, their debut, which is solid, and I listened to songs here and there on the in-between albums up to Through the Ashes of the Empires, because those albums are just weird. I mean,
right.
they got some alright songs, but I don't know, just me. So yeah, I mean, if they do, let me know. What else am I gonna say? Fucking Phil Demmel is a fantastic guitar player. Like, him and Rob Flynn go together like this, in my opinion. And I really liking, like, Ghost Will Haunt My Bones, his backing vocals. It's either him or their new bassist, Jared something. I don't fucking know his last name. But yeah.
Mickey or whatever. Mickey or
Yeah.
something like that.
Something like that, motherfucker.
By what I can see from here.
Yeah,
it's a
Mac. Yeah. Oh, and Dave McClain is a fantastic drummer.
Yeah.
His drumming is so good. It feels at times a little predictable with what he does with his fills, but his beats are fucking solid. And I've always enjoyed his drumming for sure. I think this is a really good album. So
I feel like drum-wise, I feel like one good cool thing that, at least maybe I just noticed in the earlier parts of the album, it seemed like, again with my limited knowledge of Machine Head from The Blackening on forward, it seemed at times they kind of simplified it down a good bit at parts, which is really cool. Like, which worked really, really well, especially on like Killers and Kings and Now We Die for good effect.
I agree with that. I just think there's a lot of good songs in here. To me, there isn't that one standout track. Like, The Blackening has, like, you can say Halos. It's a really standout track. Unto the Locust has, Locust as a standout track. I guess you can maybe say it's Now We Die, but it doesn't feel like there's that one song that's like, dude, this is the song on this album. They're all pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd probably still say Sail Into the Black, just because that was just the most memorable, I'd say, because it was so vastly different.
Yeah. That was a good song.
Yeah.
Big old balls.
Wieners.
Love wieners. Ratings?
Ratings. Fuck. I'd give this album an 8.8 out of 10. This is a very solid record, and it's probably... I mean, I could see it with further listens. This could probably take the place as probably my favorite Machine Head album. This is a very solid record, so, yeah.
I'd probably give this like 4 white dude wieners out of 1 black guy wiener.
Wait.
So 5 white dude wieners equals 1 black dude wiener, because black dude wieners are big wieners. I made no sense. I'd give this a 9 out of 10. I really like this album. And I love this band regardless if you think Rob Flynn's an asshole or not, because he kind of is an asshole.
Just a little bit.
But whatever. What you gonna do about it? You gonna fight him?
Yeah, but you gonna fight him. You gonna make him feel bad. He's rich and you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna tell him how to do his job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You gotta go up to him and say, "And now we die," and then you fucking just both jump out the window, and then the violin plays.
I'm picturing this right now in my head. It's
me too.
pretty funny.
Me too.
Fuck.
We're rambling.
Maybe a little bit.
See you later.
Bye.
Play Call of Duty.
Yeah, do it. All the time.